And hello everybody, welcome back to RFC News. A bit of a transfer update for you this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Rangers losing last night to FC Porto in the Europa League. Again, I just want to say something quickly. It's been a really tragic Europa League campaign, really, for Rangers. Not Danny Rule's fault, certainly Russell Martin. If we got rid of Russell Martin a month earlier and we all seen that he should have went, then it probably would have been salvageable. But don't listen to the other mob across the city making out they're flying the flag for Scotland in Europe. They are fucking awful. They are dog meat, and they will embarrass Scotland on the global stage. Yes, we got a managerial appointment wrong, but remember last year we finished in the top 8 in the hardest possible group, by the way, that we could have got. But regardless, it's moving on now as a unit. But don't take anything away from that game in terms of Porto. Porto are a very, very good side at this moment in time. Top of the league at the moment. Just to put it into perspective, Jose Mourinho hasn't lost the game with Benfica so far this season since taking over. And Porto are still ahead of them by 6 points. A really, really good side. RFC Porto. So yeah, I'm not really taking too much. I'm not looking too much into it. I do know that we need a striker. That's clearly obvious. And that is the transfer story that we're going to be getting into in today's video, guys. But as always, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So yes, Florian Plettenberg again, and it's to do with Ryan Naderi. So it's been reported that Rangers have now submitted and revised their bid, now offering 3.6 million euros guaranteed, including realistic bonuses, plus a sell-on clause for Ryan Naderi. However, Hansa Rostock continue to reject the offer. Naderi is even prepared to sign now, move to Glasgow in the summer and remain with Rostock for the second half of the season. The 22-year-old wants clarity. Rangers are ready to switch their focus to Joël Piroe with Leeds if the Naderi deal collapses, as revealed. I hate when clubs do hold players ransom. Give them some clarity. How much is it going to cost? Let the player know. Let Rangers know how much it's going to cost. He's not unsellable, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? Give him some clarity. Say what the transfer fee is. If we can match it, then so be it. If we can't, then at least give the boys some clarity. I hate when clubs hold them at ransom. This is a massive opportunity for him to go and play for one of the biggest clubs in the world in Glasgow Rangers, compete for silverware, compete for prizes. So I don't like that, the club holding him for ransom. I understand the club want to get their value for him. Obviously, I understand that. But at the same time, they need to give us some realistic answers. Are we going to be able to get him if we offer a certain amount of money? Give the player some clarity in this situation. But it looks as though we have submitted yet another bid for the player. However, it has been rejected, 3.6 million euros. Watch this space because, as we reported to you yesterday, Joël Piroe will be our next target if this one falls through. But we are going to be getting a striker this January.
In other news, Leeds United striker Joël Piroe remains a prominent transfer target for Rangers as the final hours of the winter transfer window tick away, with the 7 p.m. Monday deadline now firmly in sight. Speculation surrounding the 26-year-old has gathered momentum throughout January, and Rangers' interest has been a recurring theme. Earlier this month, Rangers were identified as potential suitors after Celtic were reported to have seen an approach for Piroe laughed off. That reaction was widely attributed to the complex ownership landscape, with 49ers Enterprises, overseen by Parag Marath, holding interests in both Leeds United and Rangers. That shared ownership structure continues to loom large over any possible deal. Piroe remains linked with a late move north, and sources close to the soon-to-be Suriname international have provided fresh insight into his situation as the deadline approaches. Marath's unique position, described as having a foot in both doors, is seen as a factor that could yet prove pivotal if negotiations accelerate in the coming days. Despite the narrowing timeframe, reports suggest Rangers have not cooled their interest. Friday's print edition of the Daily Record claims Rangers are still lining up a last-minute move for the striker, and are at the front of the queue should Leeds decide to allow him to leave. The report goes further, suggesting that Marath may yet pull rank to ensure Rangers win the race for Piroe if a deal is sanctioned. However, the player's own stance adds an important layer of nuance to the situation. Piroe is understood to have told Leeds bosses that he is not actively looking to leave and remains confident in his ability to earn a regular starting role under Daniel Farke. That belief has not wavered, even amid limited opportunities. The former Netherlands under-21 international has made 10 Premier League appearances for Leeds during the current campaign and across his top-flight career, but only 2 of those have come as starts. In total, Piroe has accumulated just 203 minutes of action in the English top flight, a statistic that underlines why his future has become a talking point as the window draws to a close. That lack of game time has inevitably fueled suggestions that a move away from Ellen Road could benefit all parties. Yet Piroe's confidence remains evident. He believes strongly in his quality and understands how quickly circumstances can change, particularly in a demanding Premier League season. As has been noted, it only takes an injury to a rival forward to shift the pecking order and thrust him back into contentions. From a strategic standpoint, a short-term loan move has been widely viewed as a potential solution. A temporary switch for the remainder of the season would allow Piroe to gain valuable minutes and momentum, while Leeds would retain long-term control of a player who could yet play a role in their campaign. For Rangers, such a deal would offer attacking depth and experience at a critical stage of the season. With Morath central to any negotiations between the two clubs, there remains a sense that an agreement is still possible before the deadline passes. The coming days and hours will determine whether that influence is decisive or whether Piroe remains at Ellen Road to continue his fight for a starting place. Either way, Rangers are expected to add at least one more player to their squad before the window shuts, and Piroe's situation remains one of the most closely watched developments as the countdown continues. Ultimately, the situation remains finely balanced. Rangers' interest is clear, the mechanics of a deal are unusual but potentially workable, and the limited time remaining only adds to the intrigue. Whether Leeds are willing to sanction a late move, even on a temporary basis, may come down to their own squad calculations in the final hours of the window. For Piroe, the decision is equally significant. Staying put offers the chance to continue fighting for his place in the Premier League, while a move could provide immediate minutes and a fresh platform to reassert his credentials. With all parties weighing up their options, the next few days promise clarity one way or another. As the deadline approaches, Rangers' search for attacking reinforcements is expected to intensify, and Piroe remains firmly in the conversation. Whether this interest culminates in a deal or fades with the closing of the window, his future is set to be resolved imminently, making this a transfer story likely to go right to the wire. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.